First up, if you are not happy with Connecticut's electric companies, first of all, you're not alone, but it looks like some change could be coming. Lawmakers are back at the state capitol for a special session and taking up several bills now.
Now, the big item is a bill called Take Back Our Grid, and it's aimed at changing how utility companies are run, creating much more transparency, and also trying to improve how storms are handled.
I think the governor said it best. It's an industry that has a captive audience. It is guaranteed payment. I'm not sure that it's that hard it's complicated, but I'm not sure it needs a CEO that makes $20 million, for example, right? So those are the things we're looking at.
Chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff is live for us at the state capitol. And Susan, I imagine this could be a very long day.
Erin, that's right. It's a very complicated bill, and it could be a long night. In fact, the energy legislation is one of 10 bills that the House is taking up today, and we found out earlier today that energy could be the very last. So yes, it could be a long night. But lawmakers really wanted to do something in this special session to try to make sure that Connecticut consumers, ratepayers, are not continuing to pay some of the highest rates in the country and not getting good service. Here's what the legislation does attempt to do. It would limit the profits of the utility companies more on a performance level and not just guaranteed profits. It also would allow state regulators to have more authority when it comes to reviewing rate hikes. And there could also be some money for Connecticut consumers. Ratepayers, if you lose power for several days, for example, you might be entitled to get money back in the terms of a refund as food or medication. Now, lawmakers are expected to vote. And one of the things also that they made clear, they wanted Connecticut to start looking at some alternative energy sources as well, because that is obviously going to be an issue going forward.
Susan, I understand one of the other bills also deals with the November election.
It does. In fact, as you know, we've heard this word absentee ballot, and that is something that a lot of voters are going to be doing in the November election. In fact, we could get an overwhelming number of people, as many as 80%. So the question is, or the concern is, that it could go on for a long time and we may not know the results. So this legislation, in a nutshell, would allow town clerks to kind of separate the larger envelopes from the ballot itself days before the election. They would not actually open the ballot. That has to be done on election day, but perhaps separating some of the paperwork would speed up the process.